So in today's video, we're going to be looking over how long it takes to mine one Bitcoin. This is just an article, and then we'll go into what the effects are of how long it takes to mine one Bitcoin, and then we'll see how long it actually takes at the end of this video, and we'll do some calculations. Technically, it's not possible to mine one Bitcoin, especially if you are a solo miner. However, if you mine within a pool, your rewards will typically be in Satoshis, which are denominations of Bitcoin that can equal one Bitcoin over a period of mining. If you opt to solo mine, the minimum reward you can get if you are successfully mine a block is 6.25 Bitcoin. If you are just beginning, the best option would be to mine within a pool and receive small returns that would add up to 1 Bitcoin. You may still not be able to correctly calculate how long it would take to mine a single Bitcoin, as the mining environment changes constantly. Any of the following factors could change, thereby affecting your initial calculations. These are the most important factors to consider while estimating how long it would take to mine 1 Bitcoin. So right here we have 5 factors that affect how long it takes to mine 1 Bitcoin. We have solo or pool mining, we have hardware, network difficulty, mining location, pool size, and commission. So we're going to go through 5 of these, and then we're going to calculate at the end how long it actually will take to mine 1 Bitcoin. So solo mining or pool mining we'll start off with. Personally, I think solo mining for new miners is just going to be not viable, because you need thousands of ASIC miners just to even have a chance of solo mining. You need to consider whether you wish to become a solo miner or pool member. This is a critical factor in determining whether you'll succeed or not. Solo miners have odds stacked against them that rarely mine any coins, if at all. Additionally, since Bitcoin mining is akin to winning a lottery, the more computing power you possess, the higher the chance of mining the next block. Solo miners often suffer from undercapitalization, which means that they end up with less hashing power than needed to complete successfully. Basically, only multi-million-dollar companies are going to be able to afford the amount of ASICs it takes to actually solo mine. So when it comes to pool mining, we can look on Mining Pool Stats, which is a website which basically shows all the pools for different coins. As we can see here, we have a load of pools just for Bitcoin mining, and you can choose whichever one you want. Normally, you want to go with the top one that has the most hash rate, because they'll receive the most blocks on the network, which means that more shares will go to you while you're mining. Next, when we look at hardware, your choice of hardware plays another important role in determining your future profitability within Bitcoin mining space. If you intend to use CPUs, graphics cards, or FPGAs, which actually won't be able to mine Bitcoins, even amongst ASIC miners, some machines are more powerful and efficient than others. It is worth noting that ASIC manufacturers are constantly improving their products, and newer ones are often better than previous releases. So when we look into hardware, we can see that there's a bunch of ASIC miners that are available to buy. So the algorithm that you're looking for is called SHA-256, which is for Bitcoin mining and other various Bitcoin mining forks. As we can see here, at the top is the Bitmain Antminers. Normally Bitmain are in terms of ASIC mining, just because they produce the most efficient miners right now. And obviously, as it said in that article, they release them regularly with better updates. So they release them probably like once every 4 or 5 months, something like that. They'll release a new ASIC, and then that will become the one that makes the most profits. As we can see here at the top, Bitmain Antminer S19 XP Hybrid 225 terahash makes $7.78 per day, which is actually really good profitability in terms of the mining space right now, because we are in a bit of a slump and Bitcoin is at a terribly low price. So if you're looking for ASIC miners, you will only want to go with ones that are profitable. So anything under this is basically not profitable. So if you're on this asicminervalue.com and you click on one of these ASIC miners, and then you can scroll down and see where you can buy them from. They'll basically display all the places you can buy them from, and then it will display the ROI, so return on investment. And then next up we have network difficulty. It is a measure of how difficult it is to solve the arbitrary Bitcoin network challenge to earn the right to create the next block. According to Bitcoin software rules, as more miners join or abandon the network, the difficulty is designed to adjust automatically upwards or downwards respectively. Changing the network difficulty to maintain a consistent Bitcoin issuance rate of mining a single block every 10 minutes is necessary. Every prospect miner must consider this factor, as it directly determines the kind of hardware to acquire to achieve particular target hash rates. So as more people join the network, the difficulty will get higher, and when people drop off the network, the difficulty will get lower. As you can see in this network difficulty chart, if we look at the all-time chart, as the halvings have happened in Bitcoin, you can see little drop-offs where they're not profitable anymore. This means people have stopped mining Bitcoin. So we saw one in 2018, it dropped off, and then we saw one in 2021 where it dropped off. And now we're about to see one probably in the next couple of months for this 2022 drop off, or it might drop off in 2023. This is because it becomes unprofitable to mine, which basically means people will get off the network. Then the block time has to stay at 10 minutes, so the network difficulty keeps it consistent so that blocks are produced every 10 minutes. So the best time to actually mine is when the difficulty is lower because you'll actually mine more Bitcoin. And fourth, we have mining location. Where you decide to locate your mining rig is important, especially if you choose to mine within a pool, since this affects latency. As described previously, latency is the rate at speed at which data is sent and received between 2 points on a network. So this is talking about latency to the server of, Bitcoin mining, 2 Bitcoin mining pools. So if you look here, they have one in America and the United States. This is a global pool. This one's in Germany. So the closer you are to the server, the actual better the latency and the more shares you can confirm on the network in theory. But I also want to talk about how much it costs to mine 1 Bitcoin in terms of electricity, and that's where your mining location comes in. So we have this chart here. It's the cost to mine 1 Bitcoin. Obviously, I'm not going to go through every country, but I'm just going to scroll down and we can see which countries are, the main ones. The lowest price one is Kuwait, and the cost to mine 1 Bitcoin in Kuwait is $1,394 in terms of electricity. At the top is Venezuela with $246,000, if you can see in the blue here, $246,000 per Bitcoin to mine in terms of electricity. Now the big ones obviously are Russia at $16,130, United States at $21,089, and then China at $25,489. And basically when you look at the whole of Europe, it is unprofitable. So if you want to pause the video and look for your country, you can right now. And then lastly, pool size and commission. The larger the mining pool, the more likely it is to mine the next block. However, such large pools also charge higher commissions for their pool members, which are deducted from the miner's earnings. Expectedly, the higher commission, the lower your earnings, and therefore the longer it will take to mine 1 Bitcoin. So when it comes to mining pools, as you can see here, they have a pool fee. If we just highlight that on this side by here, Ant Pool has a pool fee of 4%, and then F2 Pool will have a pool fee of 2.5%, and so on and so on. So you want to basically find the one that has the least amount of fees with the most amount of hash rate on the network. So now let's head over to the actual crypto mining profitability. As you can see here, we've put in an Antminer S19 XP Hybrid, which is the most profitable one that we can find on ASICMinerValue.com. Then it gives us what coins we can actually mine on this ASIC miner. So you can mine BSV, BCH, Bitcoin, SYS, ELA, and Vcash. So obviously Bitcoin is not the most profitable right now, but BSV is. So what you would in theory do is you'd mine BSV and then just convert it over to Bitcoin or through an exchange or something like that. Right here we had an electricity cost of 10 cents per kilowatt hour because that's an average in the United States right now. So that's basically the standard of Bitcoin mining. So to actually calculate how long it's going to take to mine 1 Bitcoin, you need to look at the estimated profit. So as you can see here, it's 0.000333563 Bitcoin per day, which is not a lot of Bitcoin per day. When we take this over to the calculations, we have to do 1 divided by that Bitcoin number, which gives us a figure of 2,979 days. And then if we divide that by 365, we can see that it'll take 8 years to actually mine 1 Bitcoin on an S19J Pro hybrid. However, if we go over here and up this number to, let's say, 10 of these Antminers and it updates, we can see that we're actually making 0.0318179 Bitcoin per day. If we copy and paste this over and divide 1 by this number, it will give us 314 days. So technically, if you had 10 of these high-level ASIC miners, you could mine 1 Bitcoin in about a year. And then you just do the calculations from there. Obviously, if you had 5, you'd mine it in 2 years. But the network difficulty is obviously going to jump up and down. As it said in this article, there are many factors that do affect it, but that just gives an average of how long it would actually take. So overall, it's going to take a while if you're mining on 1 machine, but if you have multiple machines, then it could be pretty quick, just depending on how many you have. So if you did enjoy this video and it helped you out, please like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to check out the recommended video at the end of this video.